You explain it. I don't know what we're doing.
No, I'll explain it.
Oh, okay.
All right. So the purpose of this game is challenge.
It's a challenge.
It's game night, guys. We're gonna go ahead and we have some guns that
From
aren't
Amazon,
real at all.
on my Amazon storefront.
And we're gonna play a little game to where Cambria actually went in there and wrote some topics that she wants us to talk about. We have no idea what they are, so this is gonna be a complete blindside for the both of us.
Yep.
And-
And we have to talk about all 5 topics.
I'm gonna make them all. Justin's gonna miss them all.
Yeah, so that's the point. If you make it, you get to ask the question.
Oh gosh. All right. We each get one shot, and then we switch.
So let's put on fast mode. Our backboard is brought to you by Vito Bag. Go to 19supply.com.
I don't think we're shooting that high.
It's fine.
Okay.
So, all right. So if you make it, you get to ask the top questions about the topic.
Okay. So I'll let you go first. Oh. Oh. Ha ha ha! I made it. Oh, that's so dumb. Oh, there we go. Thank you, sir.
Cambria's gonna be our ball retriever.
Let's see. Which one did I make?
You have the orange balls, right?
Yeah.
I think Jet wants you because that's the only thing he's saying.
Me?
Uh-huh.
Well, we're recording our podcast like right now, so it's fun.
Uh-oh. You're going to struggle with this one.
Oh no. What is it?
This is something. Let's go ahead and set this up real quick.
That's yours.
I've went and got this. I think you're gonna find a kick out of this. It's something that's really talked about now, big as far as for men. They feel like men have not been able to express this as much, and a lot of men don't deal with this in very good ways.
Mental.
Yeah. So mental health. Talking about how you kind of deal with it and what you have to do.
Of course, I got the hardest subject. Mental health. Actually, no, I was actually talking to, I won't say any names or anything. I actually had to help a guy yesterday that was really struggling with this to a point where it was probably as bad as it can get. We can all just connect the dots there. And I always correlate mental health to where, first, mental health is a real thing. Me having a Christian faith and background, mental health is definitely the devil for one. If you go back to Scripture or the Word, Satan always try to attack people with their thoughts. Like when the Lord was fasting for 40 days, 40 nights. First thing he did was attack him when he was weak, his brain, and when he was weak and he was going after his thoughts, he was telling him what he can't do, what he can do, you know. And so it's a real thing. I always go back to that though. Like, for one, most of men's mental health is if you really I do know there's people out there that do have a chemical imbalance. They need help. I'm not saying that's not a true thing, but I would say a lot of the circumstances, it's usually because there's something that changed in their life, or they're going through a moment where it is a life-changing moment.
Yeah.
And they don't have someone they can talk to get them through it. I think the best thing you can do for mental awareness or mental health is have someone in your corner that you can talk through those moments with or those situations. And if you are going through something, just know you're not alone. Like, mental health is a real deal. I'm not going to dive into antidepressants and all that. I'm not a fan of them. I think it's really just covering up the true things that people do get hurt. People do have emotional attachment to things. And when when something bad happens in life, or you go through a storm where you don't know what to do, you're obviously going to be beaten down physically, mentally, emotionally. And I think doctors these days just automatically just say, oh, you're depressed, take a pill, you'll be better. And that's not the case. Like, they have to be able to talk about this thing, bring up what they're feeling, why they're feeling it. And I've struggled with it. There was about a year and a half of my life where I went through that same roller coaster, and it all stemmed from just life-changing events.
Yeah.
When I went from not playing baseball to being a normal person, I didn't know what to do. My whole life changed. I had to find my identity, had to figure out what I was good at, what I didn't like, what I liked. And I went through a lot of mental health issues because of that. And they were trying to throw medicine down my throat, and I knew that wasn't the issue. And I'm a big advocate for mental health, especially for men, because men feel like they shouldn't be able to share their emotions or how they feel. It shows it as a weakness, or they are soft, as in today's world would say. But yeah, I would say the number one thing, I know we're playing this challenge, so we have to be quick. But I would say the number one thing about mental health is find someone you trust and just call them, talk to them, and share with them what you're going through. They're not going to make... I think people are embarrassed, but if someone makes you feel embarrassed or ashamed for feeling the way you feel to a point where it maybe be suicide, then maybe you should find someone else to talk to, because that's not somebody who wants you to win or you want in your corner.
Yeah, no, and I think to add on to that, I was listening to this story. For me, about mental health, I think everyone needs to find something they're passionate about with anything. Anytime that you kind of get in the right, you kind of brought it into what you were talking about when you switched off from baseball to not playing baseball anymore. You needed to find something else to become passionate about, something else that you really cared for and wanted to do. And so, with me, with mental health, everything can go wrong in life, right?
Yep.
Life's very hard. It's a hard process. It's a hard road to go through. I'm still going through my journey quite a bit, and so when you have to when you're dealing with those ruts or going through it, you find something passionate that you're passionate about, that you want to do, that you kind of just get away.
Mm-hmm.
For us, I know a lot of times it's us doing this podcast. It's
Oh, yeah.
like we both have crazy days throughout the day, and then at the end we both get to sit down here and just have a conversation.
This is literally my counseling. Like
Yeah.
I've joked about that before, but this is free counseling.
And it's about for me what I've done personally is tried to stay centered. There's been some issues going on with stuff that we had planned on with the wedding. Been kind of back and forth with some things that me and Kayla are going through right now. And I think at the ultimate thing, and she told me this the other day. She said, you're the calm in the storm that I'm going through right now.
Yeah.
And I told her, I said, it's just I have to be centered. I can't be too high. I can't be too low. It's about finding that centerness, finding where you're centered, to where you actually have a point where you want to go. Some people call it centered. Some people call it peace.
Yeah.
They want to be at peace with their life. But during those highs and lows with the mental health, being able to make sure that you can find that center point to where when you are low, you have that passion that's able to bring you up.
Yeah.
And when you're super high, you still have that passion to bring you back down a little bit. The struggles through your passion of whatever it is, doing this podcast, playing baseball, playing video games, whatever it is, whatever you're passionate about, it's always going to make sure that you're centered, because you're constantly going to come back to that and kind of refocus in. So that's what that's what I do for mental health. I just try to stay centered, find something that you're passionate about to be able to help you during those highs and lows for the mental health when you have those breakdowns. So
No, I understand that. I completely agree with that. And just to kind of piggyback off that, kind of just going back to like identity, I have found, just based off my own life and outside looking in on other people's circumstances they've gone through, I have found that I really do think, and obviously this is my own opinion, but I think depression is tied to lack of identity. If you think about it, it's not the life-changing moment that hurts you. It's not that moment brings you anxiety. It's not all of that. It's the identity. So say we were getting divorced. My identity isn't in Cambria. It isn't in my kids. I love them to death. I would never want to lose them. But if one day, the first day you find out that is like your identity is in Christ, and so most people get divorced, or it's just a drastic one that I can think of in my life that would probably cause me to go through depression. So I'm just using that as an example. Is I would have to find my identity in Christ and not my family. So then I can find joy And if you tie that to a lot of things, say I retired from baseball. That my identity should have been in Christ, but a lot of it was in baseball, and that's probably why I went through that. If I would have known my identity is in Christ, I can do anything. I can do all things through Christ. I would have been fine going into a new career. But instead, I was like, man, what am I without baseball? And that's what triggered the depression. It wasn't that I wasn't playing baseball. It's just I lost myself without baseball.
Yeah.
And I really do think it's an identity crisis. Is people, and it's a common thing. It's 2024. People don't even know what freaking gender they are. How are you going to find your identity in Christ? And if you look into, and I know we're not trying to get into politics and all that, but if you look into like depression and all that, the statistics, a lot of it is in like the LGBTQ community. I always tongue tie that, but it's just lack of identity is really truly does tie into depression. That's what I think.
Absolutely.
So Alexa's always
Interferes.
Alexa, turn the timer off.
I think that was a great subject. We went over our time
Yeah,
limit. We set it for 5
I
minutes.
somehow got the worst and hardest subject.
It's time to move on to the next. What we're going to do, anytime we pull one out, we're going to flip the
Net.
We're going to flip the net to get it started.
I want to know how I made all of them during the practice run and they're in the live.
It's because you
stream.
choke under pressure, baby. You choke under pressure.
No, you go first this time then. Just kidding. Bing bong. You have to knock.
Bing bong. We got to go again. Oh, dang it.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
Are you kidding me?
Ice in my veins, baby.
Got it again.
You're so cheating. You're like,
Gotcha.
You're getting closer. He's like 2 feet from the whole net. You got to stop the net.
Don't hate the player, just hate the game.
Stop it.
I did.
No, you didn't. It's still going.
It's gonna be like sports or something easy. I had to be a doctor. And
Oh, yeah.
hobbies.
Hobbies.
Easiest one for you. Okay, I'll spike the question for this. I'll make it tough for you.
Okay.
When do I choose, or no, let's put this a different way. How would you, okay, I got this. You're about to be married. Right now, you've always been able to just basically do what you want. Technically, you don't get, like, when you're married, you kind of have to change your sacrifices. When would you tell a guy that it's probably time to sacrifice a little bit of time towards your hobbies or your passions?
I think it's a little bit different for me because
That
I don't think I can-
two-part question. So that part, and then second part would be, why do you think a man having a hobby is healthy for his marriage?
Okay.
Actually, let's just do that one. That's a good question.
Well, I want to hit both because
Okay.
I think they're both really good. I think the first one that you kind of hit on, I'm not really there yet.
Mm-hmm.
To where I have to make my sacrifices. I do a lot throughout the week. I work late. We do this podcast. I do jujitsu. I go golf. I have quite a bit of things that I do, and I have been blessed to be supported about with what Kaylee lets me do.
Yeah, it's a terrible. I say it all the time too. It sounds awful.
But it's not what she lets me do. It's what she's like, okay, hey, he's having a good time. I'm going to let him do it. He works hard.
Yeah.
So I'm not at that point. I talk to her all the time, though, and I say, when we have kids, I can't do this.
Yeah.
I know I can't. There's no way I can be out late every night. I need to come home, spend time with you, spend time with the kids. And so I know I'm going to have to make those sacrifices. I'm not at that point to where those sacrifices need to yet be made.
Yeah.
Just because she does a lot, too. She still coaches.
Yeah, and I tell you all the time. I tell you this all the time in conversations. I envy that. Not out of a part that where I regret anything me and Cam ever did, but we never had that.
Yeah.
Like we were in the grind the day one we got married. So I definitely envy that.
Yeah, so it's a little bit different. We haven't yet hit that bridge to where I've had to, but I think a hobby for me and Kaylee's really good. We went to go watch her tournament when you came with us, and that was the first tournament I went to, and I'm pretty sure I told you, I said, dude, this is like the happiest smile that I see from her.
Yeah.
Outside of
It's her
when we're-
passion.
Yeah, it's something she's passionate about. It's her hobby. It's what she loves to do. And so when she's able to get away, get involved with the volleyball, stay connected to what she did growing up, it makes our relationship better
Mhm.
with not only me having a hobby but her.
Yeah.
Now she gets paid for her hobby, but that's what she loves to do.
Yeah.
And then with me, it's kind of just gives me time away. I think having time away from your partner, not long periods, but having time away from your partner can really help your relationship. At least it helps mine and Kaylee's because we want to grow more connected. When we have singleness, we have time as far apart from each other to where we get to do our own things, where you still feel like an individual. I feel like that's where a lot of people construed marriage to saying, "Oh, I'm not my own individual anymore." I think you still have a sense of your own independence as far as your hobbies,
Yeah.
to where you can still feel like yourself and be the best version for your significant other.
No, I completely agree with that, and I 100% in line with the whole. It's healthy for your relationship. I know Cambria would. Does she like me going racing all the time? Probably not. But I do know that she knows that it's healthy for me to do that after working all week, having kids. I don't have like my bro down
Yeah.
time, as you would like to say. Like I used to have baseball where I hung out with 40 dudes every day, just being dudes.
Yeah.
And I don't have that anymore. And she sees that, so I know she knows racing is good for me. But I also know that she doesn't have any hobbies, so that is hard to balance. And that's not like a knockdown at her. Her hobby's being a mom.
It's so funny when we used to go golfing. We'd be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, it's cousin bonding." I don't think she buys that anymore.
But I push for her to have hobbies. She likes working out, so she goes working out. My daughter keeps saying shopping. That's not a hobby.
Is that what
That's
all
an expense.
is that like? So before Kaylee started this coaching thing, she had no hobbies. Is that like just a girl thing?
Well, they're kind of alike, honestly.
Kaylee didn't
Kaylee, I don't want to say this on live because Kaylee might be mad at me, but Kaylee doesn't have many friends either, right?
have.
You have to like people that have hobbies.
She's got friends, but they live so far, and
That's Cambria's
there's-
excuse
there's
too. I think they
different-
just don't like people.
they're on different schedules. Oh my god!
I
that's
told her she
amazing.
needs to start tennis.
Kaylee actually played tennis in college.
There we
so
go, babe.
It'd be fun.
And I don't have to pay for some. I ain't definitely after the whole Tom Brady thing. She ain't getting no tennis coach.
You mean
So
jujitsu
Kaylee
coach?
can coach.
You mean jujitsu coach? What do you mean? That's hilarious.
Either coach, no coaches for wives anymore after the whole Tom Brady
That's
story.
easy.
So all right,
Let's go ahead and move forward. You want to grab the rest of the balls that are in there so we know?
yeah. Ready?
Yeah. Back has to be on the
Hey,
thing.
it's on it.
No, it wasn't. You were
Look.
leaning forward. Take that off.
I hit it.
Cheater. I get a shot. You got 2 shots.
I'm the director. I hit it. You have to make 2. I made 2.
No, you didn't.
Yeah,
You
I
made
did.
1.
No, I made my last one.
That's so dumb.
Boom.
That's so dumb.
We gotta make it. Baby, I need you to come with a content name for this show.
Oh
Because
god.
we gotta do this show a lot, so we have different content or different, not content name. What is it called?
All right, what is it?
Oh, it's something hard. Work-life balance.
Work-life balance. As this whole show started, Justin was talking about work.
That's how this whole show started.
And then he came out and said, "There's no such thing."
Well, it's work-life
Oh, I'm just kidding.
integration.
Work-life balance. I'll be honest with you, my work-life balance sucks. I think with my schedule, it's so.
I don't think it does. You're still able to do jujitsu, go on trips. Like I think you just think it sucks.
I think when I'm busy,
Yeah,
and when I'm off, I'm able to
you're
take
off.
the time off.
Like when I'm then that's what I'm never off.
Yeah, and so as far as like my work-life balance goes, and what I have realized, especially when coming here, is, and we've said this on the show multiple times, to be able to have the work-life balance, trust in the people that you work with.
Yeah.
And when you have that trust that, hey, I have a production team that's going to be able to take care of the jobs. I have to make sure trust them, back off, do my job, and let them do theirs.
Yeah.
When you have that trust in your team, that the our owner has done a great job of putting the people in the right positions. Your work-life balance becomes a lot easier to where you're not stressed all the time, or you still gonna have some issues and still have to maybe pick up some slack on some other things that maybe you're having
100%.
trouble with. Yes, but for the most part, when something gets done, like to be honest with you, I completely dropped the ball on this one job, but my production team caught it. They were like, "Hey, we need this, this, and that," and I was like, "Oh crap! Okay, thanks."
Yeah.
So it's about having that trust, knowing that one, they're going to trust that I make sure I put the information that needs to be put in there. And then two,
What's this?
as Canberra comes and drops us off cookies, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's about having that trust to be able to have that work-life balance. So when you're at home, you're able to actually be at home
Yeah.
and be present and not thinking about, oh crap, what about this job?
Yeah.
As far as for me.
No, I like that. I actually had a conversation on my way home today with somebody that has really helped me grow a lot professionally as a operator, kind of.
Yeah.
Just put me in the shoes of an operator, because I'm not truly an operator. I'm in operations, but I'm not the operator of the company. And so he's kind of molding me and growing me. I don't know if was intentional of him being part of the team,
Yeah.
but he's done a really good job at it. So I kind of think it was intentional. I feel like he had direction in that, but I've never asked him, never will. But we actually had a conversation about it, and it was about a process and procedures we were putting in place. And all I said was, yeah, every morning I'm on it. I call so-and-so. I check down the list, make sure we're following the procedures, blah, blah. And he goes, well, you shouldn't have to do that. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, I was told to do it. And he was like, well, yeah, but you need to go to so-and-so's leader, let him know, and have him oversee all of that and make sure we're connecting everything. And then when it hits you, at least it went through like 4 people before you find out. Or, and it's not my department,
Yeah.
but it has direct correlation with how we perform. And it took a lot for me to hear that, because I'm just like, I don't know, I just want to be in touch in it, be in the know. And he's like, no, that's you need to deal with other stuff, and if it gets to you, then you know it's like on fire. Like, but you shouldn't be the first line of defense.
Yeah.
And so that does come with just overwhelming trust. And that's kind of what we're preaching right now at Milestone, is never-ending trust. Trust that if I send an email, it wasn't just to backstab you. Trust that if we had a meeting and you weren't in it and we made a decision, it wasn't just to, oh, well, we wanted you to be out of the known. No, like, we just want to have ever-ending trust in all of our team members and know that they're all for you. And so it kind of boils down to the same topic.
Absolutely. And I think that's the biggest thing when it comes to work-life balance. And for the people that, for me, I guess for you, I've always been in the position that I've been in.
You won't be it forever, just letting you know. You have lots of leadership traits.
Oh, yeah, we'll see. But as far as when you were out on the field all the time, when you and Canberra first got together, how did the work-life balance differ versus now that you're in the office?
In the field, it really was just communicating all day. If I knew I was going to have a late night, I would have to set those expectations. I knew not to make any plans, because that's just setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be like, yeah, I can make that. I'd be like, yeah, if I get off, I'll be there. I never made promises.
That's where I messed up early in a relationship with Kaylee. And so she told me, she's like, I don't believe you.
Yeah.
And so
You can't promise.
No,
Your day is never predictable.
when me and Kaylee were first together, that was a big thing when it started, because I was like, yeah, no, I'll be there. And then I couldn't show up. And I was like, holy crap, I'm sorry, I was out working late. And she didn't understand that because to her it felt like a lie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you told me you were going to be here and you didn't show up. What happened? And so now we have those expectations like, hey, either one, give me a week and a half notice so I can let them know to be able to be there.
Have to.
Or we're gonna play it by ear, and I'll let you know if I can make it.
Yeah, and sorry, this is how I want the show to be. Just people know. I want us to be a relaxed, joyful content that people enjoy watching. I don't want us to be some serious counseling show. So we've had a lot of our vision retreat. This was something that I woke up way before all of the other people because
I was hungover.
they're lazy. Lazy keyword. I was up at 6 a.m. worked for 5 hours. Did all of our visioning before Zane was awake. But this is one of the visions I
woke up
had.
at 8.
I wanted to have a fun show that people could relate with and not feel like it's just. Anyways, so I don't know if you know me. So mine and Cambria's her first birthday together. I've shared this story with you, right?
Yeah,
Probably shared this.
you share it with me
Yeah.
too.
I got home at 3 a.m. But I never ever promised her anything. But I also grew up in the home service world, so I knew like technicians never get home at the same time. It's impossible.
It's a different thing every day.
We try, but when you're in the people business, it just goes nuts. And so I would say you never lost it on me. Your dad.
No, I grew up with a home service.
Yes, that's what I mean. Yeah, so that's what I was about to lead into. As Camry's dad's in security, so she understood. She's in the blue collar world. As far as that being the field, I never set expectations. Now it's like the opposite, but same thing. I work way more now than I did in the field, which is nuts. I would have never thought that. Like going out of the field, I was like, oh, this is gonna be awesome. I work way more now, but it's emotional work. So it takes away from me emotionally, which
It's more draining.
Yeah, it affects my
The field
family
work's
way
a lot
more.
more physical draining.
Yeah.
This one's it's more mental when you get into
So
the
it affects my family way more than it was just physical. But I actually have to set more expectations. Like, hey, these are my meetings this week. This is what I have this week. I will be working late this day. Like, I'll text her like 1 p.m. if I know I'm going to have a late day. I don't wait till 4:30. Like,
Hey, by the way,
like
let
you
me
just
late.
have to have some awareness, some feel, as you would like to say.
Yeah.
Like, hey, my day's going to be wild.
Yeah, and with mine, so we've been going. We went out to dinner with some friends of Kaylee's and that she had just met, and we went out to dinner like right after work. Like I took my company truck to meet them out for work.
Wives, just so you know, that's the absolute worst thing ever.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and we were
No
sit-
mental space.
No, we were sitting there, and I was kind of talking, trying to have a conversation, and we kind of left. And Kaylee was like, "Zane, are you okay? Like, what was wrong?" And I said, "Kaylee, I just had no."
Never stopped.
I had no time to just
Yeah.
like take a mental break. It's been happening a little bit more and more, and I've told her, I said, I need a mental. I just need a break.
That just comes down to
just
you.
a 20-minute break to where I'm not getting out of the truck, going into another conversation. I just had.
Yeah, and that's just gonna come down to
Full-blown
y'all realizing
conversations.
that and having like do y'all have a calendar yet? A shared calendar?
Yeah, we have a shared calendar.
Yeah. So on there, and I promise.
See, this is where it's different though with kids. Our calendar's so like,
Yeah.
oh,
No.
hey, same day. Woo.
No, ours is like that too, but you need to put on there. Like I'm not kidding you. I have time spaced out even for Cambria. Like we're not doing anything this day or this hour. Like this
Yeah.
is my time to. So like you just have to set those expectations.
Yeah, that's what we're working on right now as far as the work from the work life, because I'm at work. I need to have a little space to get to the life.
Yeah.
And I can definitely tell I have a big struggle when I take that switch
Yeah.
and don't just have that. I don't need a long period, just
Yeah.
a small period of time where I'm just like
Well-
today. I stayed at home for an hour when I got home.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'm gonna take my break.
Yeah, I get that, and the more you die, and honestly, no, I completely understand that. This is one of the few things I'm actually really good at, and I think that's why I wanted to start this podcast. It's just somehow you can't talk about every episode.
Yeah.
But I would say I've gotten to a point now where, like, Cambria's seen it, and I'm sure it bothers her. We probably need to have that conversation. But if I'm not doing something like that's productive, which is a good trait, it's what most successful people have. I feel like I'm worthless. Like I can't. But last night, I've had some self-awareness, and I told her like I'm taking the night off. I'm not working, like on Bad Dog, on the podcast, on Milestone. Like I'm just not working. She was like, "Good for you," and I could tell she wanted that. Like,
Yeah.
and it wasn't because I still spent time with her. We're on the couch when I'm working. It was more the fact that she could tell I needed it.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's definitely it all comes with a sense of awareness and having a relationship with your significant spouse or your friends if you're not married. You still need to have those relationships and balance it out.
Absolutely. Well, let's
I
go ahead
think
and move
what we
on to the
got-
next one.
We still got 2 more.
Yeah.
Boom!
That's
I think we already
so
hit that. Oh, we didn't. Yeah.
All right. That's the one we're doing.
I think I won this
Second
game.
place.
Damn, your shoes are stupid.
What are those?
They look like Supremes.
Go ahead and pull it out so we can have it ready for the next one.
I'm glad you got this one. This is a tough one.
What is it?
Love, relationships, and love language. 2
Love.
minutes.
Love, relationships, and love language.
No, my
love.
bad. Relationships and love language.
Okay. This is great. We actually had a full conversation.
I forgot you like this stuff. Love languages and stuff.
It's not so much love languages. So yeah, I actually had a full conversation about this with Hunter and his significant other and a friend.
His wife. Right?
No, they're not
Oh,
married at all.
I didn't know.
They're not even engaged.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're not engaged.
Oh.
And so when we were talking about it,
Hunter, speed it up.
we were talking about it, and
No, Justin, he'll probably be in another wedding.
He probably doesn't even. I'll probably be his best man, honestly.
No,
But
They're
he
not-
doesn't even watch this
they're
show.
not gonna
so.
have a wedding. I don't think, even when they do get married.
He's a smart man.
Yeah, Anyways, we were having a conversation about love because I told them I don't believe love is a feeling. I've never thought as love as a feeling ever.
It's an act.
That's what I said. That's fully. I agree with you. We're on the same page.
Yeah.
This is terrible.
How bad
Wait,
is
I need you to be on the wrong page so we can argue about it. No, we sat there for like 2 hours talking about love and how, because
Let's
they
face
think
our Hunter now.
they
It's
think
an act. Obviously, I mean, sex is an act too. So
they think they consider it a feeling. A lot of people do consider it a feeling. And
see, I'm sorry, I don't want to cut you off. Y'all say it's a normal thing, but I don't want to lose this thought. Because you said something. You said it's a feeling. It's an act. The reason I say it's not a feeling because feelings are temporary.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so we were sitting there talking about it, and I said I choose to love Kaylee every day. What are the love languages?
I
Acts of
already told
service.
you I'm not a love language
No.
person. I think they're complete BS.
I don't know all. I think I know like 3
Acts of service, kind words, right?
acts of service, words of
She
affirmation.
knows all of them. She preaches about
touch.
it all the time.
What's the other one?
Feel,
That's touch.
I don't know.
clinginess.
I think
It's time together, time spent,
Oh, yeah.
words
Oh,
of
quality
affirmation.
time.
Yeah, see, quality time. Clinginess is quality time, no doubt.
those are all actions on what love is.
Yeah.
And so when we had this debate, I think people can forget that love is an action. I choose to have to
You choose
tell
to love
Kaylee
them every
to,
day.
to,
I
to
could-
say,
yeah, you could easily go all day and say I don't love you.
and that's why, and that's why I say every time to Kaylee, hey, I do love you.
Yeah.
And she she was like, I think it's both.
Kaylee,
No, and Alyssa, she said, I think there's a sense of both. She was like, do you tell I'm in love with you? That's a feeling. That's what she told me. And I was like, I don't even say that. I've
Yeah.
never once said I'm in love with you. Not once, because I don't consider it a feeling.
it's not I love you.
Yeah, that's what I tell people all the time, and so that's what I tell Kaylee. And so that's what I would say about love. As far what was the
You love
what's the
that
question?
pillow. Every show you like just rub it, and it's hilarious
Feels
because I go
good.
back and watch the
Feels
shows.
good. What was the question? 'Cause we-
What's love got to do? Got to do.
No, it was.
Relationships and love language. That's all it is. There was no question. The question was love language.
Yeah. So
What
that's-
is love? That's the question.
to
What is
me?
love?
For love is an action. It's about showing that you care, doing the small things for them. Kaylee, the way that she shows the way she loves me, I just absolutely hate doing these with like a passion. It's nothing. It's great that she does it. I appreciate her that she does it.
Dishes.
She folds my clothes.
Oh, yeah, that too. That's the worst.
She texts me exactly. She texts me small little acts that she does for me that makes me know that lets me know, hey, she still loves me.
Yep.
And so that's what I would say about love.
No, I completely agree with you. feelings are temporary. The feeling of excitement, temporary. The feeling of going on a roller coaster and having an adrenaline rush, temporary.
Yeah.
None of those are actions.
On to the next.
Love is action.
Turn it on, Cambria.
Oh, there's only one left.
I know.
How do I turn it off?
It's just a switch.
Just a switch. Switch on the side. Other side.
Oh, is it? No.
Maybe.
Flip it forward.
Maybe.
It's like it's right there. There you go. First one to hit it.
Got.
No, it's that one. That's the one it is. That's the one that's empty. I got it. You're out, buddy.
I'm sorry, I still won. I got 3 out of 5.
I don't care. I got the last
Hopefully
one.
it's like racing.
I don't.
Nothing is racing.
It's perfect for him.
Well,
It's not really.
we have to
but-
record a whole nother show, so I'll be quick.
Okay, your thing is fitness. We were kind of talking about it a few minutes ago.
Fitness, perfect. Shout out to Marshall Nichols at Movement. Hit him up. Go online. I don't know the exact website, but I'll put it in the description for him so you can go visit. But fitness, I've actually been on a real fitness kick. More of the health and wellness kick. I want to get on the workout kick. We're getting there. I told Cambria today, I was like,
Not a lot of movement.
I really want to start working out more. I was doing it, then I had surgery, and we all know how that goes. You just get used to not doing it. So I need to get back on the same routine.
Can we talk about your stupid shoes?
No, but as far as health and wellness, I actually have been taking really good care of my body. I got some stuff done today that is life changing. I'm actually going to bring Marshall on the show and kind of have him promote it and talk about the product and the. I don't want to butcher it all.
Yeah, I think we leave the fitness thing for him.
Yeah,
Let
so
him talk
I'm
about it.
so sneak peek. I'm gonna have Marshall on here. He's a licensed chiropractor, owns a CrossFit gym, or he's a coach at CrossFit. The guy has everybody that every guy possibly wants. Just being honest with you, I don't have that. I got a dad bod. He doesn't have kids yet though, so he's cheating. But yeah, we're gonna have him on the show and he can cover this topic because fitness. I used to be really good at it, but now I'd just be lying if I told you I was. But I am on a fitness journey,
Yeah.
as you say.
Can we do like a push-up competition?
I had elbow surgery, so that's probably a terrible idea.
Well, that's it. This is Guns and Topics. We'll probably be
Guns
getting-
and topics.
Guns-
Oh my god.
Guns and
This is
Topics.
why I am the creative mind.
Hey, that's catchy.
So
So
we're gonna get canceled on every
No,
show.
we're not. Guns and Topics. That's it for us on this episode. Until next time.
Later. Guns and topics. It's gonna get red flags on everything.